Hello everyone, today we will be installing wiring for the trailer on 2014 Ford Fusion. Yesterday we installed the hitch and welded the bracket to it, so today we will do the wiring. So I got from Amazon this wiring harness that's Kurt, part number 56351. So it has already connectors to the tail light, so we won't do any splicing at the back of the vehicle. So this will go to the left tail light, this will go to the right one. Then we have this wire that will go straight to the battery and inline fuse for that purpose, and also a piece of wire for that. White wire, ground wire, we will ground it to the body of the car, and this obviously the trailer end. So why you need this box? It protects your car against any malfunctioning of your trailer. So if you have a short on a trailer, this will cut the power and it won't impact your car. I have installed trailer wiring without these boxes before, and as long as you do not drain too much power with the trailer, like my trailer has all LEDs lights, so it worked just fine. And obviously, like if you have a short, your lights on the car will go down too. So best way is to use this setup. It's quite costly. It was like 85 bucks, but still vehicle worth much more, so it probably makes sense to do it proper way. So to start, let's get the battery disconnected. So this is our battery and we want to disconnect the negative cable, so that will be that nut. It's 10mm on the back, just to get it loose a bit, and then to take the post off. So okay, and put it somewhere there so it doesn't touch the negative post of the battery anytime. So now go to the trunk. I already removed the floor mat, and I started to remove all the trim around, but I guess I will show you. So to remove this piece, you need to get plastic clips on both sides from here. So mine are already out. So, and then you just pull it out because it has those clips, and we can put it aside. Just to make it easier to work, remove. So there will be 4 like plastic knobs on both sides. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 over here. So after that, there is another on top, also plastic clip on both sides, and after that you should be able to get this all out so it's out of the way. So let me do that. Alright, trunk liner is removed. That side is completely removed. This side I just pulled it back. So next what we want to do, we want to take those 2 nuts on this side off and those 2 on this. That will allow us to pull back the tail lights and get to the wiring harness. So let's remove that and check what is inside. So now when the bolts are removed, the light will just actually this one came off quite easily. So here's this metal pin that sits in this plastic, so we need to pry it out. Let me do that. So next we need to disconnect our lights. And just press tab on top. And put them away, because we will then install the wiring connector in here. Same thing on this side. And now, so you will see that this is the rubber grommet that takes the wiring from the inside to the outside. So we will take this out. Okay guys, so if we follow the manual, next step will be to remove this grommet and cut it and let our wiring go through. What I think I will do, like, here's one excess hole, here's another one. So when I check that one, there's a like a plastic cap, plastic plug, so I can easily get my wiring through that hole in this location. So what I think I will do, so this side I will cut it. I will make a small hole in here, push them through, and then splice them back. In that case, I don't need to cut that big rubber grommet. So let me do that. Okay guys, I just want to show you something. So this is the power cable that we're supposed to run to the battery, and manual suggests that you go out of the vehicle to the bottom of the vehicle and run it all along the body on the outside underneath the vehicle. To be quite honest, I don't like that idea, to have wire just hanging under the vehicle. So what I've done, maybe not the easiest way, and I'm not claiming that this is the best way. So basically what I'm gonna do here, I will just run this wire, I will tape it together with the wiring harness that we got from the cab. And let me show what I've done inside. So this is our wire, and I will tape it to the general harness. So then general harness went under the carpet and under the seat. I don't want to remove the seat, but I'll put this wire just along this threshold, so it goes all the way to the front. So you see it's coming out here. So this is our wire that goes to the hitch. So over here it will join again general harness and will go all the way up. I don't know if you'll be able to see anything over there. So behind the dash, you can see where that wire went. So there is a general harness going under the hood. There is a big rubber boot that it goes through, and it's quite sealed, so there is no room to put the wire beside. So how I did it, screwdriver, probably similar size to the size of wire, I pushed through that rubber seal, rubber boot, make a hole. Then I taped the end of the wire to the end of the screwdriver and push it together once again, so I can have it under the hood. And I had to remove the battery to get a better view, but that's where that wire came from. So that rubber boot. So right now I'll just tape it here nicely so it's not bouncing, and will get attached to the battery. As I said, definitely not the easiest way, especially to get through that boot, but I think it's much better way than having that wire under the vehicle. So I'm continuing working on the wiring for trailer on Ford Fusion. So this is the wire that I have run to the battery through the inside of the car, not the outside, because I don't think it's a really good idea to put this wire underneath the vehicle. So next I need to get my connectors to the headlight, to the tail lights. So basically what the manual recommends to remove this boot, this wiring that goes to the tail light, cut it with a knife and put your wiring through. I think I will go a different way. So there is a rubber plug just over here, just behind the tail light, so just over here. So I'll get that plug removed. Just to get it from this side. And what I will do next, I will make a small hole in it so I can put those two wires through. I will cut them and then we'll splice them back. I don't have an issue splicing them correctly, but I have an issue cutting the rubber boot incorrectly. So let me get the hole done and I will get the wires through. So when you do any rubber cutting, you want to use a hollow punch like this, so it does not break when you cut, because when you cut you get that sharp angle at the end and then it will try to split even more. So with the punch you will get a nice hole and it won't be, that hole won't be expanding, like you won't lose your rubber boot when you put the wires through. So as I said, I will have to cut this. Just anywhere. Now I can install my rubber boot back and put. So I have plugged the wires to the tail light. This is how our rubber boot turned out. And this from this side. Also I tried to put the tail light back in and it fits alright. So nothing restricting it. So I will get my splice done. So I'll be using those butt connectors, heat shrink. Another one here. Again, you can avoid all those splicing and cutting wires and just do how the manual says. Both ways will work just fine. So now I just heat it so it shrinks, and just to ensure that no moisture get inside. Alright, this side is done. Now I just need to put the headlight back in. I mean tail lights, sorry guys. Alright, I will do, so I'm going to show you that everything fits just fine. Tail light is all the way in. Our wires is coming here from top. I will do the other side same way and we'll get my wires to the hitch. So I got my wire to the right tail light, just one wire, so we need even smaller hole in that rubber boot. So now I can connect my wire from the battery. It's not hooked up yet, so it's not a lie. Connect this black wire with the black wire on the box. Same way. And next we need to hook up this white ground wire and it will go straight to this ground over here. It's probably 8 mil. So I got that ground walled off and it fits just perfectly, so I'll put it back. So that's basically it in terms of wiring. We still need to secure the wires, we will do it, but so in manual they recommend that you just keep this in the trunk and whenever you need it you just push it out and use it like that. I will run it to my hitch and I will use, here's the plug, so again I will have to cut these wires and I will have to cut them anyway because I will be connecting to 7-pin connector. So I'll cut them, get them through the boot, and we'll finish the job under the vehicle. Alright, so I will get this cut off, so just enough that I can go back into the 7-pin and go to the bracket. So that should be plenty. So now, as I mentioned, I will probably just go through this rubber boot over here. Okay. I'll just have to push it down. So that's how it looks like. So now we just need to cut a proper opening so we can direct the wires through. So we'll go similar way as before with the hollow punch, just to have those nice rounded cuts. So here's one, just make a few in a row. 2, 3, 4. So this is supposed to go this way. All right. Okay, I will put the wires down and we'll get this rubber grommet installed from underneath as it was before. This is how it looks with the wire and the grommet in place. So I have my wires right now coming from under the bumper. I will get my 7-pin connector attached and we'll get it bolted to the bracket. Alright, I got my wires fed through the 7-pin housing. I got my insert outside. So I have marked already the colors how they're supposed to be. So this is how the connector looks in the car. So this is brown wire, yellow, white and green. So we have two sets because one is going to the 4-pin and one is feeder. So we will be installing a pair on each. So we will start with white, what is our ground. So we'll put one here and we'll put another on the other side. It's not that easy. You can also splice them together and then install as the one piece, but the reason why I like it because they can go on either side and it holds more evenly. So now we will do yellow. The reason why I am installing 7-pin because it's much easier to use it on a daily basis, because you don't need to play with that 4-pin trying to get those rubber connectors inside each other while you just... The 7-pin has a hard housing, so you just push it and it's always in. Also, those 4-pin, very often the ground wire just get oxidized so badly that it just falls out. So now we'll do the green. And the last one, actually, yes, there's brown. It's hiding from us. Okay. Okay, so we got all the wires in place. So next what we will do, we will apply some dielectric grease inside of this connector where we have our connections. So if there is a moisture, and there probably will be some, it doesn't have too much negative effect on the wires. That seems plenty. And now we can push our so it has a groove on the bottom, so we want to line it up. Great. So now we just need to install 2 screws to fix it in place. Maybe it's not all the way in yet. Now it seems like this. And we can see that screw going in. All right. So what we will do next, we will install some plastic loom on this small piece first. And then on the feed wire that will be going all the way where it exits the body of the vehicle, where we made that grommet, couple holes. So we'll get this one. All those wires that sit outside the vehicle and the back end, they get a lot of abuse. There's all these stones flying from the wheels, tons of salt. That was the reason why I didn't like the idea to have my battery feed wire going under the vehicle, because it's just a matter of time when the insulation is gone and it's short. Even though it's protected by the fuse straight at the battery, I don't think it's a good idea to have it hanging under the vehicle. If you decided to do so, I would strongly recommend to buy some plastic loom like this and cover it all the way. It's not fun to run it inside. It's take a lot of time and effort. So this will just get our wires tight, just over here. And now I will tape it as good as I can, so no moisture, no mud, gets inside. Alrighty, I will now get this bolted to the bracket and we'll put entire wire in that plastic loom, get it zip tied, and I will show you the result. Alright, so my wires are zip tied, so you can see that battery power wire going all the way to the relay, my wire from the left tail light, plastic loom, then we have my wire going to the right tail light. I have used those clips, and here just a zip tie, again clip, and then it went all the way to the tail light and it came out over here. And I will get under the vehicle to show you what's going on over there. So this is my 4-way plug, 7-way plug, and it went all the way up, zip tied, and went inside the trunk. So last thing on the back side, what we will do, they provided in the kit with the silicone. So I will just put some more silicone on those grommets that I have cut. So just to ensure that there is no dust or moisture going in, and same on that one on the bottom, just like that, and one on the right tail light. Awesome, it looks like just black silicone. So that should make it just about perfect. I'll put some on this side. Alright guys, next I will have to get under the hood and get the battery connected to our power wire. I guess I never showed how the plug look like on the back. So this is 4-pin. And this is 7-pin. So the last thing, we need to install the fuse under the hood just after the battery. So for some reason I didn't get the connector this type for the battery. I got just 3 of those, so we will have to make one. So for now I just split my wire into 2 parts, and I will try to make a loop like that, so we can put it through the battery connector. So something like that. Oh, I guess you don't see it really. So something like that, and now we will just put some solder on. Okay, there is a helper. So now we can trim the end. And that should be good enough. So On the opposite end we will need to connect this to that black wire that we ran all the way to the back. Okay, let's get under the hood. So here we have that wire that went to the back. We'll trim it. And we'll connect it to the fuse part. Some heat. Awesome. So now we will get this nut off and we'll connect our fuse. So the nut is off. We can now put the wires through, put the nut back. When you do this, one option, just pay attention you don't touch any ground, any metal pieces with your wrench or ratchet, because they will be short. The safer way will be to disconnect the negative, do this thing, and then connect the negative back. So I really like the label for the trailer tow. I was gonna make my own, saying what it is. So if somebody's questioning this wire, for some reason they know what exactly it is. So now the only thing that I will do, I will put that plastic loop around our wire so it's all protected under the hood. It also looks exactly the same as all factory wires. Okay. Oops. Now we will zip tie everything so it's nice and snug. Oh, come on. Always use proper tools. Okay, and I guess this should put the end to this long story of wiring. Thanks for watching, guys, and do it yourself.